Welcome, Excellency, for coming here. I know it must be a difficult time for you to be here with the background of what has been happening. And there are a lot of questions we all have on how we've ended up where we have. So let me jump straight into the main set of questions which I have for you. See, many have been the times when Iran has found itself in the eye of a storm. In the region, it's got a long history, and Iran has often been at the center of a lot of conflicts which have arisen in that region. But always in the past, and you with your long career of diplomacy, have also been at the helm of various conversations, various talks, giving diplomacy a chance. My first question is, what has changed this time? We are seeing a cycle of continuous escalation from both sides. There seems to be no end in sight. What is different this time that led you to this position?
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Rushi. It's a very important question, why we are here, and why American and Israelis started aggression against Iran and invaded Iran. This act of aggression, why happened? This is $1 million question. And if you pose this question to American administration, based on the market and the audience, you will get different answers. One day they say that, okay, it was because nuclear weapon program was happening in Iran. The other day would say that because Iran was posing an imminent threat. The other day would say that it is because of the change of the political structure of Iran, and they continue there. And recently they are not talking about Judeo-Christian crusade against Islam.
But can we get back to the question of what changed for Iran? What changed for Iran?
I would like to say a little bit of context, because I think it is important with this very huge disinformation campaign which is happening right now. My country is under attack based on lies, based on flat lies that Iran was imposing imminent threat and these sort of things. You have to know that. A week ago, we were in Geneva with the mediation of Foreign Minister of Oman and with the presence of Mr. Grossi, head of the International Atomic Energy Agency. We nailed down a practical agreement in which that Foreign Minister of Oman said that the agreement is at reach and everything is ready. We actually identified Monday to go to Vienna and just write down everything. We left the room. The American, negotiator said that very promising. Thank you very much. We are going to hand over our written proposal on Monday. And then we left the room. We arrived in Tehran, and they started aggression against us. This is a TV reality show. They invite you to have diplomacy in place while they are making military buildup, and there is no actual understanding of why they started this. If you ask me why they started this, it is because of the power politics and because of the greater Israel and because of the prime minister of the regime of Israel, that they would like to seek greater Israel, and they think that is a once-a-century opportunity for them to just exercise edge over other countries and impose their hegemony over other countries to change the Middle East forever. But what is happening right now, everybody should know that they are carpet bombing Iran out of frustration because they would like to see a new Middle East. And this is why that we are here. Why it is different? Because they would like to put an end to the existence of Iran.
See, traditional mediators, Oman, Qatar, even over the last few years, Iran had been mending its relations with Saudi Arabia, with Turkey. There seemed to be some kind of coming together. Now those mediation efforts seem to have come to a dead end. So is there any hope now? Is there a path beyond the present which can get things back on track?
We were all on the same page. When Americans started this invasion and Israelis started to sabotage and spoil this, they attack people here. You have to go and see images of the primary school in which in the first minute of the attack, intentionally American bombed a primary school, and they killed around 200 small kids at the age of 7 to 11, all girls. So we were on the same page when they started this atrocity. Let me tell you something, since you brought up the region. American has decided to put an end to the existence of Iran. Israelis have been promising this for many decades because of their delusion about greater Israel. And this is our response. We have no option just to put an end to the presence of United States in the surrounding area of Iran. We told Americans and we told our neighbors that if they would like to put an end to the existence of the greatest civilization on earth or the oldest continuous civilization on earth, then we have no option just to put an end to the existence and presence of United States in the Persian Gulf area. They do have multiple military bases, equipment, assets targeting us, long-range raiders, command and control centers, the 5th fleet of United States just few miles away from our coastal courts in Bahrain, in which 75% of all US Marine activities happening there, all of them targeting Iran.
The argument they are giving is that they are actually for the people of Iran. There's an oppressive regime in Iran, and then they need to fight it.
First of all, this jargon that they are using, regime, has its own negative connotation. They are using it to demonize Iran, delegitimize Iran, and they say that there is no government in place. If it was a regime, then when you assassinate the head of another state, it would have been collapsed. Iran is an institutionalized country with a constitution, division of labor, division of power, executive branch, judiciary branch, legislation, and this is why they have unlawfully, illegally, recklessly assassinated and martyred the standing our leader, but the government and the society and the country is going on. This is one thing. So do not, buy these misarguments by mainstream media trying to demonize Iran. The second thing is that if they are, who can believe that they are for people of any country when they are carpet bombing, as we are talking right now? They are trying to take revenge of 1979 revolution by which we expelled Americans out of Iran. They are taking revenge of that. This is power politics, pure power politics, and nobody can sell it. And they have stopped even talking about that. If you ask Americans, they are not talking about the people of Iran anymore. That was on January 8th when they wanted to demonize Iran. They sent different thousands of internet terminals, communications, different terror cells inside Iran to misuse the protest, the peaceful protest of Iran against all the suffocation which is happening. So it is very much hard. If you ask, go to the street, please go and just search. Millions of people are rallying around the flag right now in Iran. Millions. Because the invasion is happening and the people are so frustrated. This is a civilization that they are trying to ruin, and everybody should be aware. I'm talking to the history. It is for the record of history, which is happening right now by Americans and Israelis. It's against international law. It is against norms. It is against, you remember the other day, the Secretary of War of the United States went to the podium and said, without any shame, that the rule of engagement, there is no rule of engagement. We don't want to be politically correct. And he continued and said that no stupid, quote unquote, international organization norms would be in place. We would like just to win this war. So and this unnecessary war of choice, because there was no provocation whatsoever from Iran, and we were just talking in the middle of negotiations, Sanjay. They attacked us. And they betrayed diplomacy.
No, you made that point earlier also. Let me prod a bit further beyond this. Now, we looked at the June attack. An attack happened in June also, lasted a limited period of time. Then there was cessation of hostilities. This time what we are finding is that for the first time, the region has got involved. Iran has targeted facilities in the GCC countries, and there is a lot of angst there in those countries as to what has been happening. So what is Tehran hoping to achieve by expanding the scope of operations and widening this into the larger territory?
When Americans started attacking us from all those countries on June 12th, and also before that by assassinating General Soleimani and the others, we never considered those countries to be the origination of those attacks. When we talked to them, they said that this is under US jurisdiction, we don't have any control over them, and we are trying to not let them to use our territory. But just let me know, 5,000 kilometer range raider in Doha, or 5th fleet of United States in Bahrain, they are for fishing in the Persian Gulf. When they are starting launching 500 kilometer 500-kilometer precision missile from surrounding area of Iran, 500 kilometers. It has been launched, and they are launching right now from different countries surrounding Iran. Why there is no even one of our Arab friends, our neighbors, casualty in our attacks? Because we are just merely attacking US bases, US assets, and also those sheltered in different residential area. 2 of those American soldiers have been killed by us. They were just sheltering in one of the, they are doing operation from one of the residential areas. So you have to know, we have no option. This is an existential war. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an existential war on Iran. They would like to put an end to the existence of Iran, and we are fighting a heroic, nationalistic, war to just push back, to hit back those aggressors. We have no option, just to hit wherever Americans are originating their attack from. And this is why so we have they are just selling misargument that Iran is doing that because Iran would like that other countries to go and, put pressure on the United States to stop the war. No, it is not our intention. Our intention is what I said. Strategically speaking, this equilibrium has 2 wings. One wing is that they would like to put an end to the existence of Iran, and the other side of the equilibrium is our response to put an end to their presence in the region. If they would like to have a coexistence with Iran, the rule of engagement is different. They don't want to be in coexistence with Iran, so this is what they get.
So are these I'm talking of these as tactics. Are these tactics not likely to push these countries into a deeper security integration with the US and Israel? I'm talking of pure tactics. And aren't you creating the very encirclement which you desire to fight?
I think that, you heard, and you are hearing what many of our neighbors are telling, and, our president was said. This war is war for the region. Everybody knows, from Saudi Arabia to Oman, that this is Israel's war. They dragged Americans into this war because they do have this delusion of greater Israel. And they know that this war is to stop Israelis from their delusion. They are upset. They are very much concerned about what is happening. We do understand. I'm very much, trying, and we are very much trying to avoid the spilling over to other areas. And we do our best to do that. And I'm sure that you are hearing false flag operation by Mossad and by Israelis to attack refineries, to attack even Cyprus. And that Prime Minister of UK said that it was not originating from Iran. And Tucker Carlson on the other side said that 2 or multiple Mossad groups was captured in Saudi Arabia and Qatar trying to do false flag operation in those countries. So while we don't have any intention and we are trying to avoid the spilling over to other areas, and while I do understand why our friends in the region are so upset about that, but this is an existential war, and this is a war for everybody. When they assassinate head of another state, just imagine that you have a relation with Pakistan, sometimes up and down, or Azerbaijan and Armenia, or other countries with each other. So head of a state should be targeted when there are problems between countries. This is unprecedented, and it is the new norm. Then it is very, very much, dangerous. So this war is the war for the international law. This defense, this right, exercising self-defense is for the region, and for the region to be free from this use of naked force against other countries.
So the conflict, besides having gone in the Gulf, what you are seeing is possibly the closure of the Straits of Hormuz. That shipping has been affected, supplies have been affected. Qatar has been forced to shut down its gas supplies everywhere else. So and declared force majeure. So there are fundamental problems in the flow of energy supplies, not just to, say, the US or to Israel. These supplies are getting affected all over the world. Why has the Straits of Hormuz been closed, if it has?
It has not been closed by us, not now. If we close it, we are going to announce it. All the declaration which has been made by Iran is very precise, very honest, and very straightforward. We have not yet closed the Strait of Hormuz. Those insurance companies that they have stopped insuring, vessels and tankers is the main cause of no tankers going through a Strait of Hormuz. Yet we have said that no vessel, no tankers by US or Israeli flag, or those who have been helping them cannot go through the Strait of Hormuz. We are on the record that we have not closed the Strait of Hormuz, and we have no intention to do that until further notice. If we do that, we are going to announce that, and we are going to do that responsibly. We are not. We are anchor of stability. We are anchor of stability in the Strait of Hormuz because we are actually there, and we are also using that. So this is not our policy. This is not yet our decision, and we are very much open to share if this change with everybody.
What about the attacks on tankers which are taking place?
I think that many of them are. One or two incidents happened. One was for with the flag that was one of those flags that was not permitted to go through. The other one was false flag. We are investigating. We told everybody the Aramco, was false flag. The Cyprus was false flag, and these sort of things were false flag, and they know that because we shared all the information with those who were actually asking us.
Whichever way we look at it, whether from the perspective of the Gulf or the perspective of Iran, are you seeing a fundamental geopolitical realignment taking place in the Gulf area? And what is your end game? What do you see the future geopolitical alignment take shape?
There are two parallel but totally different, passes which is going on. The one belongs to the Israeli regime, which is exercising maximum edge over other countries, in which that greater Israel is happening, and you see that, and they would like to, and Americans have joined them actually in their policy of changing the political structure of Iran. By the way, you have to know that President Trump is asking for change in the leadership of Iran, and he says that I have to have voice on that, while he cannot appoint even the mayor of New York. Can you imagine this colonial approach that he would like to see democracy at home, but he would like to topple down a democratically elected president of Iran and assassinating other countries? So this is the path that they are going, and this is the heroic, resistance that we are doing. And the other path is inclusion. Maybe you need to know a piece of information that you didn't know. Parallel to our discussion and negotiation in Geneva with the United States, by which they were just attending with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and no expert on nuclear, nuanced, complicated issue. And you have to ask why, when you are going to talk about such a nuanced issue, why they are coming with two and staying 1, 2, or 3 hours, at most 7 hours. But anyway, they were a parallel, path which was between Iran, Oman, Qatar, and the other countries in the Persian Gulf to have an inclusive dialogue happening at the same time. The second one was not announced, but now I am revealing that. And Americans and Israelis just spoiled that. And we do believe that Israelis, because they knew it is happening, they rushed into dragging everybody into this war. Our friends in Oman knows that, and our friends in the GCC knows that. And we are very much sorry. The moment this atrocity stops, I think that this is the moment for the region to move on to a new security and inclusive arrangement.
My final question, we're running out of time, so my last question to you is, there are significant costs which are actually falling on Iran as a result of this war. Ultimately, there has to be a way out of this. Now, is there any way that diplomacy can have a chance again? And what are the conditions which would make a return to negotiations again possible in this? Who could play a role?
We don't have any strategy or goal in this, in this war. We are just resisting.
Give us some hope.
I will. We are just resisting. The other side has started an act of aggression against us. So the ball is in the room of who has started the aggression. If they stop today the aggression, we are defending. We are not on offense. So it is very much quite clear if they want to stop this atrocity today, those who have started the attack, they can do that. We genuinely, we are Iran, we are Persia, we are country of chessmate. And you know that. You are also. or Indo-Persian civilization, which we are just which we share with each other. We are not in American football mentality. We are in chess mentality. So this is what we are doing. They are trying to bullying everybody and just trying spoiling. I think diplomacy down the road is the only option that each country has. I really doubt this administration understand the geniality and also the essence of diplomacy and dialogue and compromise, which means give and take and not dictation.
That is the right note in now to end this conversation on. Thank you so much, Dr. Khatibzadeh, for being here, giving us the time. It's been a pleasure talking to you.